Yes, hello and welcome to episode 2 of A Game of Two Halves. Hope your week was better than Donald Trump's and more Crawley Town than Leeds United. A result for Marcelo Bielsa that Michael McCormack would probably describe as unfortunate and Ned Zelic might describe as a conspiracy. Fortunately, we're here to brighten your mood with a succession of dad jokes, all in the company of what Clint Bolton labelled unfunny footballers. Au contraire, Scott Jamison's lack of success in this quiz so far as skipper of the Jamo Tarts, for example, is ball-bouncingly funny. Therefore, this week, he's been dropped. And we were so impressed by Western Sydney Wanderers defender Danny Georgievski's showreel, we thought he was the natural choice as his replacement. Yes, Daniel once told the Athlete's Voice he went an entire year without being paid while he was playing in Croatia. So tonight is a big bonus for him as it's just one night. Joining Daniel should have been Melbourne City's Samantha Johnson. Unfortunately, she can't be with us. So it's a big thank you to Rhali Dobson, who hails from Newcastle but has gone from the hunter to the hunted. So she is on side with Daniel tonight. Leading the Bubsy Babes is Melissa Barbieri, who's now been playing so long, the proposed Australian Football Museum is considering having her as their first exhibit. Alongside Bubs, Vince Rugari, one of the last remaining paid football journalists from the Sydney Morning Herald, who earns good money on the side by acting as Ben Kantarovski's stunt double. Yeah, if you enjoy the show, feel free to buy us a coffee at s01e02.com. It can only make it better. Thanks. Now, we kick off with a look at what's been making news this week. Masks, as I'm sure you know, have become mandatory for fans in stadiums right across New South Wales, to the unexpected delight of both security and a certain Western Sydney-based fan group. Tim Cahill emerged as a surprise favourite for the top job at Fleetwood Town. With the UK currently under lockdown, of course, no fans are currently allowed in the ground, meaning the supporters are right where Timmy wants them. Meantime, Western United have been handed an unfair advantage in their first FFA Cup campaign, as it is announced nobody will have a home ground advantage in the final of the yet-to-be-renamed competition. And good news for Aussies abroad in England as Alana Kennedy and Emily Van Egmond sign new deals with their clubs, while Brighton's Matty Ryan gets a comfier upgrade on his bench. So we start the quiz playing 4-4-2. Here we show you 4 things with something in common, but of course there's an odd one out. Now first up, guys, we want to hear wrong answers only, with a point for the most creative, and of course a point if you can also get it right. So here's our first one. 4 football clubs: Crawley Town and Chorley FC in England, and Australia's own Teviot Downs and Redlands United. First up, tell me your wrong answers. Vince, you can have first crack at this.
I'll go with my answer to almost every question in Australian football. Gold Coast United.
Is there a rationale behind Gold Coast United?
I think it speaks for itself, Simon.
Perhaps there never was. Mr. Georgievski, give us the benefit of your wisdom or your wit.
I'm giving you nothing, mate, because I don't know who the hell those clubs are. So
I thought you might have played for half of them.
If they don't pay like my other ones, mate, I definitely have.
What about Rhali? You got anything to offer us?
I have no idea at all.
I'm going to go Crawley because John Crawley, goalkeeper coach.
Yeah. What's your line of thinking here, Bobs? I mean, John Crawley is a goalkeeping coach. He is Australian. Is there any reason behind you just yelping out his name, or was the name Crawley just enough?
It's probably the association of Crawley drifting around Australian clubs. That's what. Look,
about as close.
I'm a butt of many jokes from this show, so at least I say an answer.
That's very true. Unfortunately, you're about as close as Norway is to Antarctica. However, you did have a crack, so I'm going to give you a point for that. Can anyone identify what they have in common and which one is the odd one out?
Yeah, I reckon the presence of Redlands United. I think I was there that night at Perry Park a few years ago when they beat someone in the Adelaide, I think, the FFA Cup. So I'm going to say they all beat teams above them in a cup competition. And the odd one out is that, what was that, Teviot? I never heard of them, so let's just go with them.
Vince is correct. The odd team out here is actually Teviot Downs from Queensland. All the rest are Magic of the Cup giant killers, but Teviot got killed on a giant scale. 4-tier Crawley Town, of course, this week had a convincing win over Premier League Leeds United, while 6-tier Chorley beat Wayne Rooney's championship side Derby County. Closer to home, as Vince said, Redlands beat then A-League champions Adelaide United 2-1 in the FFA Cup in extra time in 2017. But in 2019, Teviot's Downs got absolutely slaughtered 31-0 by Bayside United in the second round of the FFA Cup. Those are the qualifiers, of course. So for a bonus point, guys, one other game finished 31-0 in the FFA Cup. Anyone know who was playing in that game?
Yeah, Archie Thompson and no one else.
Yeah, the clue was a cup tie, not a World Cup qualifier, but I like the way you're thinking, Vince. Anybody else? The universal sea of blank faces in the screens above me tells its own story. So I'll tell you, it was actually Albion Park White Eagles who cruised to a comfortable 31-0 victory over Epping FC in the second round last year. Well, now on for the next set of four. Let's see what we've got here. Well, here we have Michael Mifsud, we have Ziggy Gordon, we have Mario Jardel, and we have Danny Vukovic. So let's hear your most creative answer with a point up for grabs for the best wrong answer here. Daniel Georgievski, you are first.
Well, I actually searched up three of them, and I thought the only comparison they had was their hairlines. So I didn't really see the other one. So I really have no answer. Maybe they've all played in the A-League and not done the best except Vukovic. Michael
Mifsud's hairline, I think, is a bit higher even than Vince's. Not sure about Mario Jardel's waistline. Bobs, have you got anything for us?
I was thinking that maybe Vukovic is the only one that got suspended for touching a referee. I don't know.
He did indeed. He did indeed get suspended for touching a referee, of course, in the 2008 Grand Final when he slapped the hand of Mark Shields. A very good answer. Unfortunately, it's not right. Vince, you got any upgrade on that?
Yeah, they all played for Gold Coast United.
Is this just going to be your stock standard answer for every question?
Yes.
Right. Vince Rugari, who's still on the payroll, clearly, of Clive Palmer. Some great suggestions there. I think the point probably goes... Who gave the best answer there? Probably Bobs again, to be fair. It's Mario Jardel. Of course it's Mario Jardel, because Ziggy Gordon scored his first A-League goal against the Newcastle Jets last weekend. And the former two-time European Golden Boot winner, Jardel, is the only player who didn't score a single goal in the A-League. Even Danny Vukovic managed to get one. He got his only career strike to date for Wellington Phoenix against North Queensland Fury from the penalty spot. But what was the significance of that goal in the A-League? Bobs, you're a keeper. You should know this, and I'm giving you a clue there.
He's the only keeper that's ever scored in the A-League.
Your name's Bobs, is it? Excellent. Your voice has dropped about 5 octaves, but you are actually correct, Daniel Georgievski.
I was taking it. I need the point.
His goal was the first, and to date, the only time a goalkeeper has scored in the A-League. So a point to the Jamo Tarts, or the Georgie Tarts as they are today. Daniel, 94th minute, you see a keeper coming up from the corner. How does the back line react?
Just let him go.
You let him go. You're not concerned, not worried.
No, not really.
Unless it's
There's nothing more to it.
Bobs, I'm intrigued to know, were you ever invited up for a corner? Not that you're the tallest goalkeeper that ever played the game.
I actually am a great hitter of the ball. So, yes, I have been invited up. Sometimes I get subbed in the last 15 minutes of a game and score. You know, it happens when you're gifted and you can just play anywhere on the park. It's what happens.
That's why you got 86 caps, Bobs, which is 86 more than, I think, all of the rest of the teams put together. And at the end of that first round, it's time to check in on the scorelines. Hayley Routley, whose stats are sagging?
Well, Simon, another week and another early lead to the Bubsy Babes. They're leading 3-1.
3-1 to the Bubsy Babes. Of course, they have won the first two episodes episodes of A Game of Two Halves. Well, our next round is s01e headlines, where parts of the upcoming headlines are as absent as Perth Glory have been from the start of the new A-League season. 1 point to the team who can fill in the missing words or phrases, and maybe some cheeky bonus points for wrong answers that are better than reality. So let's go. Our first headline is this. Women's FA Cup matches may be what? Let's hear your wrong answers first.
I'm going to go with women's FA Cup matches may be decided by nudie runs around the pool table.
Nudie runs. Are you speaking from experience here, Bobs? Was that ever a tiebreaker in teams you played in, for whatever reason?
When it's cold out or it's lightning delays and we can't play the match, it's just nudie runs around the table, pants down around your ankles too, just in case.
How do you know who wins?
Well, you got to get it's a race.
Right.
Go on, Rhali. What did you say?
Sounds like what Bubs just said. It's an Eagle Rock style if we're doing nudie runs around the table. Yeah, hands down around their ankles.
Who was the best at that, Bobs? Just out of curiosity.
It's me.
Hands down.
No, but because if I'm quite honest, having a child in diapers and, toilet training, I learn from the best. That's it.
Okay, Rhali, your job before you come on this show next is to get photographic evidence of the fact that Bobs is really good at that. Well, can anyone guess the real answer?
My real answer is the FA Cup, because there's so many teams in lower leagues, they're actually going to have to toss a coin or make it a ballot. A lot of the professional teams can play and train, but because of COVID, a lot of the second and third tier teams can't even play. So
that's a very thorough answer, and you are correct again, Bobs. The Jamo Tarts need to up their game a bit here. Yep, England's Football Association are currently considering a range of pretty poorly mind-mapped ideas to see out the remaining second and third round stages of the Women's FA Cup. England's third national lockdown saw the competition suspended as the early rounds are not considered elite, with the association tentative to spend money on offering COVID testing and elite environments for the 9 lower league teams to continue as normal, even though, of course, they did do the same for the men. Now, not to be outdone, Football Australia have also put forward their tried and tested suggestions to help our Commonwealth counterparts. Anybody remember this? The Christmas cracker. And the joke in there was, why did the referee pick up the phone during the game? Because he had 14 missed calls. Right, next up, apart from Scott Jamieson in Melbourne City's next game, who's been banned from an A-League match? That's the headline. Tell me your wrong answers first.
Shitty commentators banned from A-League match.
Well, I'm pleased you said that after I left my A-League commentary duties.
It's the only reason.
Love you, Bubs. Anybody else? Daniel, you got any guesses here?
The VAR should be banned from any A-League.
Well, that goes without saying. Rhali?
Can I say the right answer as well? Because I need the points. I don't want to lose.
Actually, to be fair, you do need the points. So go on, Daniel. Let's give you the go.
Alex Rufer from Wellington. His name Rufer?
Actually, that's very clever because, yes, he will be banned from the next game after being sent off in his last match. But it's not the answer we're actually looking for. Anybody else before we give you the answer?
I'm going to go with Western Sydney Wanderers fans and anyone wearing a Rabbitohs shirt.
We are going to give you a point for that, I think, because it is fans from select Western Sydney suburbs. Sounds a bit familiar, doesn't it? Prior to the Western Sydney Wanderers away clash to the Newcastle Jets, McDonald Jones Stadium said fans from identified COVID hotspots would be barred from attending. And with at-risk locations, genuinely including Auburn's BCF, that's boating, camping and farming marine aisle, Western Sydney's cut price flare store, Stadium Seccos have finally got to do what they've always wanted. Luckily, fans had already revealed their own personal postcodes to make life a little bit easier for security. Remember that? That was great, wasn't it, back in the day, the Sydney Derby, which of course is coming up this weekend. Now, on to our next headline. Robinson found it weird beating who? Any wrong answers?
Nigel Bogart.
I actually like that, Daniel. You're going to get a point for that. Does anyone know the real answer to this?
I was going to say collectors finding Martin Lee.
Well, it's probably true, to be fair, but it's not what we're looking for. Vince, Rhali?
Yeah, I reckon I remember it. He said it was like it's weird being the team that I built.
He did indeed. You are correct.
Because a few days earlier he said I was only there for 11 games. So apparently you can build a team in 11 games.
It's the headline when it suits you. It is indeed. It was weird beating the team that he built, said Carl Robinson. The team he built while in charge for, as Vince also correctly identified, a mere 10 or 11 matches. Also, Western United, of course, are building a stadium, and Stephen Lowy built we'll come back to that one. Moving swiftly on, the definition of built, clearly up for interpretation. Our final headline, how has Royal Antwerp forward Didier Lamkelzee tried to force a move?
He's turned up in a Newcastle Jets shirt to training.
You're actually not a million miles from the truth, so we're going to give you a point for creativity. It's not strictly correct, though. Anybody want to take a stab at the right answer?
He wore a Club Rouge or Bordeaux or what was it?
You're so good. There we go. You got there in the end. A point for Danny Georgievski because we're feeling generous and they do need the points. Yes, indeed. He arrived at training in rival team Anderlecht's kit. I'm sure that went down really well. And with security tighter than the Capitol building, he was, of course, locked out. Yes, Didier Lamkelzee is trying to force a move, strangely enough, to Greek outfit Panathinaikos to be reunited with his former boss, which probably sounds familiar to some players in the A-League. But instead of batting or training or kicking up a fuss amongst the media, Lamkelzee instead chose to arrive to Antwerp's training ground in that rival kit. Now, this, of course, isn't the first time this has happened. What was Archie Thompson trying to achieve when he was in between clubs here? Bit of a poke in the eye to Melbourne victory. And the referee has blown for half-time. Hayley, who is charging down the tunnel and who is hobbling off with the deep heat?
Well, mind the gap. Bubsy Babes extend their lead with 7 points to the Jamo or Georgie Tarts 3.
Okay, Georgie Tarts have got a bit of work to do. Thanks, Hayley. We'll be back after this short break. Now here's a short commercial break from our partners who help us bring this to you. And if you'd like to help us too, you could buy us a coffee at www.s01e02.com. Every little bit helps. We plan to bring you this for free every week with as many coffee donations as you can throw at us. We want to bring you fresh new content you want in a new way that suits you, but we need your support to continue to do it. So please don't be shy. We don't want a lot, just a little, whatever you can afford. Just 1 or 2 coffees a month is plenty, but feel free to buy us more if you can. If you enjoy the show and want to see it improve, tag in a mate or two, give us a shout on social media and buy us a coffee please. Or else we'll get a team of former Socceroo captains to decide how much you must donate. Thanks. Welcome back. Now it's time to spin the wheel of misfortune like a Rami Nazarene turn in the box. Elegant, deceiving and decisive. And hopefully there's also someone there to add the finishing touch as well. Let's see what Carney Gallup has got for us. And Carney Gallup tells us it is Tats life. This could be interesting for you, Bubs. In important breaking news from the UK, Arsenal is the club with the most tattooed fans in the English Premier League, although apparently they lag far behind the branded fans of Juventus and River Plate globally. That's according to some very scientific research carried out on Instagram by a company called Good Luck, Mate. Sounds Aussie. But our Matildas and Socceroos have a few tats between them as well, of course. Can you identify them from their ink? First up, it's a clever visual pun from this player, but who is it? A reminder, bonus points for the best wrong answer. There's that Bob's buzzer again. Go on, Bobs.
Wrong answer. No, I can't do it. Alana Kennedy.
So you pressed your buzzer even though you didn't have a wrong answer. Absolutely brilliant. Daniel Georgievski, have you got any thoughts for us?
That's a -1 point right there, just quietly. I was going to say Green Bullet, but I don't know where he would have.
No, I'm afraid not. And we've also just moved your family to a safe house in a secret location. Anybody else?
Aren't they the scales of justice? There's no way that Karen Bullitt would have them on.
That's the second Karen Bullitt joke. Excellent. Also protection for your house, Mr. Rugari.
No, don't worry, we're Italian. We got it.
Anybody got the right answer for us?
Alana Kennedy?
I was going to say it's Alana Kennedy.
Actually, Bobs did say Alana Kennedy, didn't she? Yes, it is Matilda Alana Kennedy, who has just signed on permanently at Spurs after her deal at Racing Louisville expired before she even played a game for them. Now, next up, who is this work of tribal art? It's off again. I'm going to be hearing that in my sleep tonight, that buzzer. Go on, Bobs.
Guys, it's like you tell me to have a buzzer and then I get in trouble for it.
No, it's great.
That's Timmy Cahill.
It is Timmy Cahill, and the clues were hidden amongst the traditional arts with the letters MFC and EFC. Here he is, the record-breaking ex-Socceroo with well over 100 caps and over 50 goals for his country. Sorry, go on, Bubs.
I know that because it's the same tattoo artist as Sonny Bill Williams.
And, okay, interesting. So they all go to the same guy, do they, or girl?
And then my husband went to the same guy as Sonny Bill Williams.
Right. Am I the only clean skin on this show tonight? Has everybody else got a tattoo?
No, I don't have a tattoo.
Rhali, excellent. DG?
No tattoos.
No tattoos. Vince?
No, I don't do needles. I might have to make an exception for the vaccine, but yeah.
Wow. Bobs, you're on your own. You are the only inked-up member of A Game of Two Halves tonight. Yes, it is Tim Cahill, whose Samoan sleeve incorporates former clubs and names of his family. The rest is just the names of fans he's blocked on Twitter in very small type. Now then, who is this with a biblical quote reference on their elbow?
Bobs.
Williams.
Can I just check? Does the other team have a buzzer? Daniel, can you just press it?
I've been doing that for a while, but you don't bloody pick me.
Let's hear it again.
I'm trying to punch her as well.
Okay, you need to be a bit quicker on that buzzer. Bobs, have you got an answer for us?
Lydia Williams.
Lydia Williams. Let's have a look and see if you are correct. Yep, it is Lydia Williams, and the biblical reference is about how resisting temptation and enduring trials and tribulations makes you stronger. No one can resist a selfie though, eh? Next up, who is this patriot? There, we heard the buzzer this time, DG. Go on, Daniel.
That's Trevor from Mount Druitt.
Well, it might well be. Maybe he's got the same one. We'll give you a clue. He's a former Central Coast Mariner who's still very close to his old boss there. Anyone? Vince?
Oh, very close. That'd have to be Trent Sainsbury then, wouldn't it?
There we go. Vince is on the boards. It is indeed Trent Sainsbury, although you're going to have to take our word for it. He is, of course, married to Elisa Arnold's daughter, a former Mariners boss, and now is Socceroo's boss, Arnie. Bonus points each if you can anyone name Trent's new club and what country it's in, and we'll give you an extra bonus point if you can pronounce the club name correctly. Come on, Vince, we're expecting you to step up here.
This is what Wikipedia is for, man. I know it's in Belgium, but I definitely can't say it.
Can you spell it?
Starts with a K and possibly ends in a K. I don't know.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
KV Korznik or something.
Well, you've got the first syllable right. Core.
Would you?
I don't know whether that gives you half a point.
Something like that.
Go on, say it again, Rhali.
It's like KV Kortrijk. I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's close enough. Rhali gets the point. It is indeed KV Kortrijk, which is the correct pronunciation, apparently, in Flemish. I hope that's correct, otherwise we'll get strung up. Next up, we'll give you a clue in case you've missed the rather obvious pattern here. This one is a Matilda. Yes, Bobs.
Chloe Lagazzo.
Chloe Lagazzo. Are you right? Let's have a look, shall we? Yes, it is indeed Chloe Lagazzo, who was confused for Steph Catley by photographers and Adobe facial recognition software, coincidentally enough, during the Alan Stajic Matilda crisis back in 2019. Now, finally, the owner of this majestic bit of art is not Australian, but the pic was taken in this country. Who is it? It's a fairly serious piece of ink.
Rhali.
Go on, Rhali.
Is it Daniel Agger?
Oh, you are on the money. It is indeed the former Liverpool star Daniel Agger making a cameo out of retirement for an exhibition match against Sydney FC, playing for Liverpool at ANZ Stadium. Incidentally, can anyone tell me how many different clubs Charles Lokalingua, who's pictured there just about to shake the hand of Agger, has played for since that picture was taken in 2017? Have a guess. Go on, Daniel.
One other club.
Only one? No, you're way short. Vince?
I don't know, 3? Can't be that many, can it?
Well, the actual answer is 4 or 5 if you also include Raw's NPL team, and that's not including the 2 years he spent at Sydney. Agger played for just 2 clubs, Liverpool and Brøndby, during his entire career. Aussie football, eh? And with that, it's time for the mid-second half scores, please, Hayley Routley, who's hoping for a red card to get them back in the game.
Well, Simon, surely they can't lose from here. We've got Bubsy Babes on 13 to the Jamo Tarts 5.
13-5. She's set to continue her domination of a game of two halves. Next segment is We Don't Know What You're Doing, where we're going to show our teams part of a video, and they will have to make intelligent guesses, hopefully, as to what happens next. We'll also give you a point for the most creative answer, even though it may be the wrong one. So let's get ready, teams. Roll the tape, and this one may need a trigger warning for a couple of players here. Here we go.
Yeah, great run forward there from Tegan Allen.
No. Rhali.
Go on, Rhali.
Did Jenna McCormick just see a light flash before her eyes?
She may well have done. Would you care to elaborate?
Lisa Devanna just basically lets the ball go past her. It was like a partial nutmeg, and goes on to eventually score in what was a absolute drumming for Melbourne City.
It is indeed the brilliant goal from Lisa Devanna, who ran from inside her own half to score a stunning solo goal. Here it is in all its brilliance.
Great run forward there from Tegan Allen.
Oh, look at that from Devanna. Lets it run through. So smart. Wraps around Jenna McCormick. Trusts herself at pace to beat Tori Toom. It's still Lisa Devanna. Devanna with the shot. Now she gets her just reward. Lisa Devanna.
Yeah, 36 years young, Lisa Devanna. Bubs, Rhali, anyone want to talk us through the derby result? And is that move that was done on Jenna McCormick known as the pie and chips move, as in get us pie and chips on your way out of the stadium?
It's called, Jenna, what did you learn playing AFLW if you're not going to send her over the sideline?
Seriously, what happened?
Devanna played really well. Unfortunately, credit to Victory, they did outplay us, but I think the word is capitulate. We did, in the last 20 minutes, we just kind of unfortunately gave up, and it's not our way, and we're looking to get them back on Sunday. That's all I can say. We're gunning for 3 points and a resurrection, shall I say, away from CB Smith. I don't think we'll ever play there again, to be fair.
Maybe they need to change a goalkeeper, Bobs, after the current one let in 6 at the weekend.
I don't know. I'll let you write that letter, Simon.
For a bonus point, guys, and I think I might have told you this already, so let's see how keen your hearing was. How old is Lisa Devanna?
Is it Rhali?
Go on, Rhali.
36.
36 is correct. And for an additional bonus point, how old does City's defence need to be to stop her? All right, just kidding. Let's maybe not dwell on that, and let's move on to our second clip. This comes from England's win against Mexico in the Under-20 Women's World Cup back in 2018. And again, we want to know what happened next.
Looking for hemp once.
Any clues?
England scores.
Well, that's true. They did score, but it's not actually what we're looking for. Bobs, I'm pretty sure I heard that little squeak of your buzzer again. You got any more info for us?
I was actually going to not say score. I thought she was going to touch it out kick it out for a throw-in. But, yeah, they score and the defender puts it in the corner.
I think Daniel's already said that. Well, not exactly in the top corner. Let's have a look at what actually happened, shall we?
Looking for Hemp once again. Russo coming through to help. Here's the chance. Alvarado. And count it in. It's a goal.
Robbie Slater-esque. Lauren Hemp fouled in the box, but then accidentally scoring off her backside. And I'll give you a bonus point of my own here. She's made only one start this season. That's what she said afterwards. Haters are going to say I didn't mean it, which is brilliant. She's made only one start this season, Lauren Hemp, for Manchester City in the Women's Super League. Have a guess who it was against. And the clue is in the action that we've just seen.
Blackburn.
No. Come on, think laterally here. They play in London and they wear red and white.
Rhali.
Oh.
Rhali.
Arsenal.
Arsenal. We got there in the end. Goodness me, I had to spell that one out. So well done to Lauren Hemp. Vince, you've watched a lot of football in your time. What's the most bizarre goal you've ever seen?
Oh, it's a good question. I've seen a lot of goals scored in bizarre circumstances. I don't know about bizarre. I mean, Ryan Grant did have the nipple in the last grand final, didn't he?
Yes.
I'd have to go through the memory banks there. Nothing's coming to mind.
What's the best goal you've seen? Were you there for the Scorpion goal, Riley McGree?
No, I wasn't.
I was there behind the goals.
You were, of course, Rhali being a Nova Castrian, you were cheering on the Jets that day.
No, I definitely wasn't. I was sitting there in actually my Melbourne City jumper behind with my boyfriend and a couple of beers. And I sat there absolutely horrified because he so didn't mean it.
Well, I'm going to let you tell him that because I think he said at the time he did. Brilliant goal, though. Thanks for the moment, guys. That's the end of this particular round. Hayley with full-time fast approaching. Who's hoping to hover around the corner flag in the dying moments?
We've still got a Melbourne Derby type scoreline here. Bubsy Babes still lead 13 to the Georgie Tarts 7.
13-7. Not a lot of points scored in that particular round. All right, teams, it's squeaky bum time. 10 quick-fire questions, 1 point for correct answers, -1 for wrong answers, and 2 bonus points if you score a hat-trick of 3 right answers in a row. So it's still very much up for grabs despite that gap on the scoreboards. Who is going to be the Teddy Sheringham? Question 1. Briefly, once a Sydney FC player, King Kazu, aka Kazuyoshi Miura, has just signed a new contract with Yokohama FC. The question is, how old is he now?
54.
53.
Incorrect. Rhali, you're correct. Point to the Georgie Tarts or the Jamo Tarts. He is indeed 53 years of age. 9 months older than me. There's still hope for me to make it as a pro yet. Question 2. True or false? Melbourne Victory's 6-0 win over Melbourne City in the W League had 6 different goal scorers. True or false?
True.
It is indeed true. They're coming up fast on the rails. Come on, the Bubsy Babes. On to question 3. Crawley Town surprised everyone by defeating Leeds United 3-0 in the FA Cup. But which former Socceroo used to manage them? Yes, Daniel.
That wasn't me.
That was me.
That was not you. That's it. You've got different buzzers. I thought you were supposed to be on the same team, so it's supposed to be the same buzzer. But go on, Vince. Go on.
It's Harry Kewell.
It is indeed Harry Kewell. Correct answer. Question 4. Ziggy Gordon from the Central Coast Mariners scored on the weekend, but what is Ziggy short for?
That one just goes for way too long. Is it Zygmunt?
It is indeed Zygmunt. I think you're pressing a different buzzer every time, but I like them. Question 5. How many stints has Lisa Devanna had with Melbourne Victory?
3.
3 is the correct answer. The Bubsy Babes starting to rack up the points again. Come on, the Jamo Tarts. Question 6. Just 4 or 5 questions to go. Manchester City have bought the oldest surviving FA Cup, but did they ever actually win that specific trophy? Yes, Rhali.
Oh, no, I think, didn't he go first? But I'll say no, they technically didn't if history, as per history says. It was the old FA Cup they used to win.
Right, you should have let Daniel go first because, yes, they actually did. Bubsy Babes, for a bonus point, can you tell us which year? No, blank faces. It was actually 1904 and the first Manchester team to win a trophy. No history, hey? Question 7. Which national team of the Wanderers did new coach Carl Robinson play for? Whose buzzer is that?
It was me. Another different one.
Go on, Vince.
Wales.
It is indeed Wales. Question 8. Coming back from their Dubai training camp, how many of Celtic's first team players tested positive for COVID-19? Who's that?
That was me.
Go on, Daniel.
We actually need the help. Help! I think it was 12 or 13.
Yeah, we're going to give you a point for that. It's actually just the one, but it did actually force 13 players to go into isolation as a result, yes. So our adjudicator, who's feeling generous, probably because he's a Celtic fan, has given you a point. Question 9. FC Schalke finally managed to end their winless streak this week, but how many games had they gone between victories?
Blah, blah, blah.
I have no idea who's pressing these buzzers, so please tell me your name on the back of that as well.
I'm just going to start, just saying me again. Was it 20,
Yes.
29?
It's 30. Vince was very close, actually. One short, they were, of matching Tasmania Berlin's 55-year-old Bundesliga record. And interesting to note that Germany had Tasmania in their top tier decades before we did here in Australia. Question 10, the last question. The Sydney Derby is coming up in the A-League action on Saturday. Daniel, this is probably one for you. They've met 25 times so far, but how many times have Wanderers won the Derby?
I won 2 last year, so... does it matter before that or?
Well, I think to the fans it probably does, yeah. 25 meetings. How many wins for the Wanderers? This is the last question. Could hinge on this, guys.
I would
Have a
say
guess.
6.
Daniel Georgievski has pulled the luckiest number out of the bag. It is indeed 6. So the final point goes to the Jamo Tarts, or the Georgie Tarts. He's very happy about that. That is the full-time whistle. One last time, Hayley, can we get the final tally of the scores on the doors, please?
Well, I so badly wanted to say this is winner for Danny, but it's not to be, as the Bubsy Babes have done it again, winning 17-10.
So it's another win for the Bubsy Babes. They lead the series 3-0. They've got a bit of work to do next week. The Jamo Tarts. Our thanks, as ever, go to Melissa Barbieri and her teammate Vince Rugari for the Bubsy Babes this week, and to Rhali Dobson for being such a great sport and a late last-minute stand-in as well for the Jamo Tarts, and team captain Daniel Georgievski. Before we go, after the weekend's W League action, an American import admits she got rather confused by the word Melbourne in her contract when returning to Australia, and says she simply wandered into the wrong club. That's Samantha Johnson, of course. Manchester City gave gag writers everywhere a free hit by paying £760,000 to buy the original FA Cup. It feels like coming home, says Bobo, as he re-signs for Sydney FC, which is actually the 10th move of his career. And Donald Trump eyes up a bolt hole to lie low for a while. He says he needs a place where nothing much is going to happen for quite some time. And finally, farewell, Frank Arok, a fighter to the very last moment in football and in life. We will miss him. Good night.